وما تقدموا لأنفسكم من خير تجدوه عند الله هو خيرا وأعظم أجرا واستغفروا الله إن الله غفور رحيم.
Genocide, killings and displacement. The oppressors continue to target poor Muslims across the Ummah. In the Middle East, South Asia and elsewhere, whole communities this past year have been uprooted and killed. The targeted violence and enforced poverty has left our surviving brothers and sisters looking to those like us, endowed with more, for assistance. Muslim charity Ummah Welfare Trust continues to deliver this help. A caravan between those who have and those who have not, Ummah Welfare Trust has delivered close to £30 million of relief in the past year, helping and rehabilitating needy families in disaster-hit parts of the Ummah. Early focus after Ramadan last year shifted to the Rohingya genocide in Myanmar. In front of the world's eyes, Rohingya Muslims here were massacred, forcing over 700,000 of them, the fortunate ones, to flee to Bangladesh. Ummah Welfare Trust mobilized immediately to help and has supported over 60,000 families in Bangladesh since then. Food packs, shelters, clothing, fuel supplies, cash support. Alhamdulillah, a range of assistance has been provided to help our brothers and sisters recover.
By the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, at this moment in time, we're distributing rice husks. We have 1,000 packages, and hopefully inshallah we'll be giving it to 1,000 members of the Rohingya community, and they'll be utilizing this to cook their rice and their gosh and their chicken or their sabzi or whatever else that they need to cook.
This ummah stands on charity and sympathy and empathy with one another. Your sincerity in your payment, your sympathy and empathy that runs a very high for these destitutes. This is the reason why Allah has put so much barakah in this work and so much barakah in this Ummah Welfare Trust organization.
As well as in Bangladesh, Rohingya refugees in India have also been helped. With as many as 50,000 Muslims barely surviving here, Ummah Welfare Trust has helped many of them with food packs, sanitary kits and blankets and clothing for the winter months. In Syria, which remains the heart of the Ummah's suffering, Ummah Welfare Trust has delivered over £6 million of relief to forlorn families here. The past year has been Syria's most distressing, sadly. Ummah Welfare Trust has in response delivered some of its largest work yet. Emergency food and non-food assistance have been delivered across Idlib, Hama and to the besieged enclaves in Homs, Dar'a and around Damascus, benefiting in turn tens of thousands of families. Ramadan 2017 saw over 16,000 families across Syria helped with iftar packs. Alhamdulillah, the winter program brought warmth to over 12,000 families in the same areas. The beginning of 2018 saw a huge assault on Idlib, and the siege and genocide of Ghouta escalate further. Ummah Welfare Trust responded in Idlib by delivering winter supplies to over 1,800 newly displaced families. And in Ghouta, which we ask Allah to liberate, the charity has delivered thousands of cooked meals, baby meals and hygiene supplies to families hiding in the enclave's many towns. Away from the emergency work, regular programs in Syria have continued. 10 containers of relief supplies have been sent from the UK, while over £100,000 worth of medical equipment has been delivered to 3 maternity centres and 5 health clinics in Idlib. Cash programs have also expanded. Over 5,400 widows have received assistance, while 3,000 orphans today receive monthly support. Over 700 permanently injured civilians also receive regular cash assistance. We ask Allah to deliver Syria's Muslims from the ongoing oppression. Away from Syria, in Iraq, in response to a similar but much less reported tyranny, Ummah Welfare Trust has assisted over 18,000 families in the past year here. Food supplies have been delivered to around 10,000 families, while cash grants, fuel and blankets have helped thousands more. Further south, in blessed Yemen, Ummah Welfare Trust has continued to deliver life-saving food and health supplies to beleaguered families. With the number of homeless families increasing in Yemen, the charity has expanded efforts to provide tents and other non-food supplies. Hospitals have also been supported to deal with the sweeping cholera epidemic.
قدمت جمعية الأمة الخيرية هذه العلاجات اللي ترونها، وهي حيوية وهامة في إنقاذ كثير من حياة الذين أصيبوا بهذا المرض.
As part of the emergency work, Ummah Welfare Trust's Global Winter Programme covered all of the emergency zones, as well as several other countries, bringing warmth to over 30,000 families, alhamdulillah. Regardless of the physical needs, the ultimate poverty for the believer is always one of religion. Away from its emergency programs, Ummah Welfare Trust works hard, therefore, to address the spiritual poverty of Muslims. With the correct iman and understanding, Muslims can be in a better position to overcome today's challenges. Alhamdulillah, this year, the charity has spent well over £2 million delivering and supporting Dawah and education programs in poor Muslim countries. Hundreds of madrasa teachers in Africa, the Far East, South Asia, and the Balkans, as well as for the first time in Yemen and for the Rohingya, have been reimbursed, ensuring that tens of thousands of children can learn and study Islam for free. Over 2,000 Hifz students in different countries, meanwhile, continue to be supported to memorize the Quran. Clothing, mushafs, and Islamic books have also been distributed to thousands of young and old. And many maktabs, madrasas, and masajid have been built, helping to establish isolated Muslim communities. Related to Dawah, as part of the religion, Ummah Welfare Trust's seasonal programs in the past year have fed hundreds of thousands of Muslims. Ramadan 2017 saw iftar packs given to over 120,000 families. And alhamdulillah for Qurbani, later that year, over 12,000 animals were sacrificed to feed thousands of Muslims. Grassroots development work has continued. Hand pumps continue to be installed in Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, and for the first time in Malawi. Children with special needs in Pakistan and Gaza continue to be rehabilitated, and new livelihoods for the heads of families continue to be provided. Finally, Ummah Welfare Trust never leaves its obligations for the orphans of the Ummah. Thanks to you, over 10,000 of them today receive monthly support. Our brothers and sisters continue to be maligned and attacked, both physically and spiritually, and they call on us to respond. And so we must, as Allah Most High commands. Ummah Welfare Trust continues to deliver your donations, your trust, to the needy Muslims. Join it therefore in making the difference and bringing about positive change in the Ummah.